Okay, so let's begin. The first thing we're going to talk about here today is a little bit about how you hold property or how you hold title to your property, a little bit about mortgages, a little bit about notes, just some brief background information. Florida is what is referred to as a lien theory state, pretty typical. What that means is that you hold title to your property, and the bank who gave you the loan originally, they have a first lien on your property or a mortgage on your property. Um, now, when you purchased your property, you were given a deed to record in the public record, and you were advanced funds to purchase the property. In consideration for those funds, you did two things. You executed a personal note or a personal IOU for that debt. That was not recorded in the public record. And there was a mortgage. The mortgage most likely is recorded in the public record. Now, the mortgage has what are referred to it as covenants. These covenants require you to do many things. First and foremost, they require you to repay the debt as evidenced by the note. They also require you to have insurance on your property, to pay the taxes on your property and maintain the property, to do many things. But the note, now the note is the instrument of indebtedness. It's the IOU. Now those IOUs or those notes are typically assigned. So let's just say that Bank of America loaned you $100,000 to purchase your property. Odds are very good that Bank of America no longer owns that debt. That debt was sold to a third party. Most often, if it's a conforming loan or a conforming mortgage was placed on your property, that is done through a government-sponsored entity, most likely Fannie Mae, but it could also be Freddie Mac. Now, that debt is sold to third parties. It's bundled together and sold to third parties. Could be a mutual fund, it could be Nationwide Insurance, it could be a rich fella in Switzerland. But the thing to keep in mind, though, is the Bank of America no longer owns your debt. What they do is they service that debt for the people who own it. So what they do is they collect a little fee, or they collect your payment every month. They take a fee out of it, and they pass the remainder along to whoever owns the debt, whoever is entitled to that repayment of principal and interest. So the largest institutions buying this debt are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the so-called government-sponsored entities. They right now they own or guarantee about 50% of all the residential mortgages in the United States. Right now, they're writing, by any estimate, between 80 and 90% of all the new mortgages being placed. So they're huge. Now, why is that important? Because the government programs, that you hear about, and we're going to talk about later on, like HAMP and HAFA and those kind of things. If your mortgage is backed by Fannie Freddie, then they have to go along with these government programs. Otherwise, it's voluntary. Now, many lenders do, but their cooperation is voluntary at that point. So, just to recap a little bit. You own your property. There's a deed. The deed is recorded in the public record. You have a personal note or personal IOU for the funds that were advanced to purchase the property, and there is a mortgage. Now, for any breach of the conditions of the mortgage, typically repayment, a foreclosure action is begun against you. But just keep in mind, though, that until the foreclosure suit is perfected, you own your property and you control what happens to it.